Time did not simply pass inside the dream vessel. It accumulated. Layra didn't understand this until the chamber shifted again, until the helix dimmed and reformed into a slow, spiraling loop. Naren stepped closer, brow furrowed. "What is this?" The custodian's voice flowed from everywhere and nowhere. "The reason 2 years in your world became centuries in theirs." The helix expanded, each coil showing another timeline like rings of a tree. Layra felt a heaviness settle in her chest. She had sensed this difference instinctively but never known the shape of it. The custodian continued. "The dream vessel does not obey linear time," the custodian explained. "It obeys psychological time." The helix split into 2 strands, one thin, steady the waking world, one looping, looming, branching the vessel. Layra watched as the waking world strand moved in a straight line. 2 small notches appeared on it. 2 years. But the vessel strands spiraled like a labyrinth. Thousands of loops. Stories layered over stories. Souls repeating patterns, reincarnating personas, reliving archetypes. Why would they allow that? Layra asked softly. "Because healing does not follow clocks," the custodian replied. "Minds need time in a way bodies do not." A new illusion unfolded. Layra saw sleepers inside pods, bodies unchanged, preserved, but she also saw their dream selves, growing old, growing young, living entire lifetimes, repeating mythic cycles, forgetting and remembering countless identities. Naren inhaled sharply. "It wasn't just healing," he murmured. "It was evolution." The custodian nodded. "Within the vessel, a single thought can carry the weight of a decade. A revelation, the span of a generation. A myth, the length of an era." So the dreaming grew. Faster, exponentially. The helix collapsed into a single glowing orb representing the waking world. "You lived in a space the architects never altered," said the custodian. The waking world was left untouched, frozen, suspended, slow. Naren added quietly, "Because they expected no one to stay behind." Layra's throat tightened. The custodian's tone softened. "You preserved linear time, you kept continuity. You remained a fixed point, a beat. Without you, the waking world would have become as dream-broken as the vessel." She swallowed hard, suddenly understanding something terrible and beautiful. Her staying awake did not just make her an anomaly. It made her an anchor. The custodian drew the strands back together. The vessel's strand pulsed with vast complexity. Inside the dream, eras form because meaning forms. Memories echo. Patterns repeat. Stories amplify. Humans dreaming together created a collective myth, cycle, an entire civilization of the mind, sustained by symbol and repetition. Naren watched the helix with a haunted expression. "I've seen fragments of those civilizations," he murmured. "Whole histories, whole wars, whole myths, all played out inside one long dream." The custodian agreed. Every archetype they lived added a century. Every cycle of forgetting added another, a pause. The vessel grew exponentially more complex because humanity did. Then the helix glowed gold. 2 years in your world," the custodian said. But inside the vessel, the helix expanded beyond sight. Patterns formed that would normally take millennia. Layra whispered, shaken, "Because thousands of minds were dreaming together." "Yes," Naren added softly, "and because the architects wanted us to become something more." The custodian's final words resonated. "Time is not measured the same way in a world made of thought. You walked the earth for 2 years. They walked their souls for centuries." The chamber dimmed. The helix unraveled into darkness. And through the silence, both Layra and Naren understood. Humanity hadn't simply been sleeping. They had been becoming something else,